I went into Shark Tank, I was, as a company, much bigger than what they would invest in.
If you were in his place, you wouldn't make it.
Yeah.
That's why you're not.
Exactly, thank you, but what I'm trying to tell
That's
you
why you're
is
not.
everyone around you is a set example
For you.
of how God blesses and how God takes. That's it.
Four, three, two, one. But this time we're gonna keep it casual. What up?
What's good?
Amora.
Habibi.
Amora.
بس على both your hands in my face ما شاء الله يا من تحت خلها من تحت.
طب يا أخي عادي ما أنت keep it chill نحن.
Yeah, we chilling.
How are you guys?
Good, alhamdulillah.
هلا Omar is a usual.
A regular.
Sorry, as usual is a regular. Omar is a regular. بس عاد محمد is
New face.
New face.
New face in the game.
I don't know. Do you want to do your own introduction?
No, you can go ahead and do it.
I don't like doing introductions for anyone, so I'd rather you introduce
yourself.
yourself.
Simple, bro. Just say G, bro.
You're just a G.
Mr. NLP.
Mr. NLP, actually, that's your thing. Mr. NLP.
NLP.
NLP, for the ones who don't know, NLP is neuro-linguistic programming, and if there's anyone that can do it, it's this guy.
Or understands it.
Or understands
it, not do it.
طب okay, how about you tell us what LMP is, and then we'll take it from there.
It's NLP.
No shit. Okay, yeah, I know, but like, give us
context.
Give us context. Yani, I'm sure people watching this don't know what NLP is, and we'd obviously have to.
Basically, it's.
Don't be shy. I can see your face.
I'm not shy, bro.
Your face.
Can we quickly repeat the story of how me and him reconnected?
Yeah, actually, go ahead, do it.
I think it's
because
it's a tale for the world out there to see how nothing is by coincidence. So me and this guy over here, Mr. Muhammad Al Yaqoub, we were in high school together, and
for the longest time,
we lost touch for what, 12 years,
maybe
longer than that.
I used to fight.
We hated each other. We couldn't stand
each other. Hated. I still
do, and the funniest part is, he got expelled. So.
Oh,
the headache was gone.
First of all, I didn't get expelled.
You left the school, bro.
I left the school.
Okay,
there's a difference, bro. Expelled
Long
is them
story
kicking
short,
me out. They couldn't do that.
Let's get to the fucking point, bro.
Okay, get to the point.
The point here is there are certain people who are meant to be a part of your life, but in different stages and phases of your life.
Very
so
true.
when we lost touch, we were kids. And the funniest part is, the reason why we're in touch again is because I saw a reel of you talking about NLP, and I was like baffled. I was like, what is coming out of this guy's mouth?
Out of all the people.
I could only remember the old version of you, and then when I saw, man, I was impressed, bro. I got emotional.
Tell me, what's the old version of him? Because actually now I really want to know.
He was just someone, man. He was just a rebel, man. Just a traditional rebel
without a cause.
Who just,
Now there is a cause.
Now
Still a rebel.
Now you found your purpose?
I found my purpose.
100%. I think that's why we're in this room.
That's
We're
true.
all purpose-driven individuals, right? So, yeah, we're in touch again because of a reel, and I use that as an excuse to reach out, and I guess we're on good terms.
Was it awkward the first time you spoke to him?
No, it was just like old times.
It felt natural. Yeah. As if like we've been talking to each other.
Organic.
And how? When was that? When was that time you reached out to him for the?
I think it was in Ramadan.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
so
recent. Very recent.
Yeah.
Oh, that's when we went to the Masra.
Yeah. Or before Ramadan.
Before Ramadan.
I think a few months before Ramadan, and then Ramadan is when we actually started hanging out. Which, subhanallah, Ramadan.
But wait, okay, so some people do know you on social media. Why'd you stop? Why'd you start and then stop, and then now you want to get back into it again? Because you actually had it going for you. People liked your content.
I stopped because I had bigger things to do.
Okay.
In the beginning, I had
Fair
to
enough.
focus on them first, and then I could come back into this and give it more time.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been fair to either like to the media, if I was gonna do it in that way, like do something and then stop and then continue again and stop again. I didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me take a break, decide how I want to do this, and then move forward with that.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Type Mr. NLP. So NLP, Neuro Linguistic Programming, sounds a bit obvious, but no. On serious note, can you like tell us exactly what it is?
There's no exactly to it. It's
Okay.
basically changing your mind, programming your mind
Mm.
to look at things from a different angle. You know, when you're on the floor, it says 6 on one side, and then if
Mm.
you go to the other side, it becomes a 9.
Mm.
This is what it teaches you,
Perspective.
changing your perspective.
Yeah. And like, is this something that you've been applying recently, or you're just... Because I know like a lot of people been coming to you for help in this domain, and I know that you've also did several courses or accreditations in this. Was how can NLP help someone understand what he's going through and shape what he's or reshape what he wants his future to be like?
It's when you find your purpose.
Mm.
Surprisingly, the conversation started there. When you
Mm.
find your purpose. And to find your purpose, you need to know what's happening.
Yeah.
If you study NLP and start understanding it to a deeper level, you start looking at things from a different perspective, then you understand why you're alive, why you're here.
Yeah.
What is this life? What is it about? It's not about sitting down and doing nothing and being a rebel for no reason.
Yeah. What was your first encounter with NLP?
Had stomach pain for 8 years.
Mm.
Went to a bunch of different doctors.
Mm.
All said nothing's wrong with you. Obviously something was wrong. I would feel the pain. After NLP, there's something called regression, timeline
Mm.
regression.
Mm.
So you go back in time and you figure out what your problem is.
Wait, I don't get
Interesting.
that. How?
Interesting, because
Yeah.
I can relate to what he just said.
Actually, that is very interesting, but I need you to repeat that again. How does that work again? How?
So basically, you know, astral projection. It's when you close your eyes and take yourself out of your physical body
Okay.
and then go back in time to find out the core of your problem, why you have this pain or why you have certain things.
Yeah.
And then after I did NLP, I had this with the trainer I had at the time,
Mm.
and I haven't felt the pain since.
Do you know the root cause of it?
Yes.
Exactly.
Anger.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
what
me,
was-
I can so relate, and it's I can actually relate 100%. But it's not about with him. It was stomach issues. With me, it was certain relationships in my life that I could never maintain. So I kept losing people because of temper and anger,
Mm.
and I never knew what the root cause of that was.
This was it like romantic relationships or just relationships in general?
Both. I think it was obviously romantic. I mean, you're dealing with feminine energy, so
Mm.
there's less tolerance there, right?
Mm.
But even with the friends, just the character that
Yeah.
I had, who I was, and how impulsive I was in terms of anger,
Mm.
that I literally had to go back and find the root cause, and I found the root cause, and ever since then it became a changed man.
But this is what really makes me wonder
And
sometimes.
that's
Like,
what they call childhood trauma. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
there's a lot of trauma that comes from your childhood that people are unaware of. You know, one of them being codependent. When you see people who are codependent on others, especially in relationships, when things become toxic in relationships. This is something I said in a previous podcast. I was like, if you want to know the trauma you carry deep inside, get into a relationship.
Mm.
I'm telling you, like,
You want to hear something even more crazy?
Yeah.
You know that trauma could actually get passed on in
100%
in your DNA.
well, that's what they call a generational
Trauma.
curse. It's a generational curse because it carries on from generation
No,
to
but
generation.
it's not
It's
just
not-
like I
it's
say.
not a
I
curse.
say this.
Don't
I
say
say
curse. I don't think it's a curse. It's something negative that's inside you. Don't call it a curse, because once you go through it, because God does tell you that He will not burden you with. He will not
More than
burden
you
a
can
soul
tolerate. No.
unless you can tolerate. So if it comes to you, that means it is a burden you can tolerate. So don't call it a
Exactly.
curse, because after you deal with it, you will end up getting something in return. So if your parents didn't deal with it, it comes to you. You will get something out of it.
True, but
It's
it
a-
could have if it could have landed on my lap and I could have never healed it and would have went to my son. That's my question.
Yeah.
Is my what I'm trying to say here is a lot of people walk earth today are walking around not knowing about all that trauma they have in them, thinking that there's something wrong with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hence why, you know, a lot of people move to or start taking recreational substances
Mm.
to kind of numb the pain.
Mm.
And I think that's one of the biggest issues with addiction in general,
Mm.
whether it's tobacco or drugs or anything as a whole. It's running away from facing your demons. And I think the difference here is we are people that face them instead of running away from them, you know. And people can run away from them their
Because they're
entire
there
life.
again, yeah. Bruce Lipton, the reason why I mentioned that about trauma being passed on through your DNA and your genes, Bruce Lipton, Dr. Bruce Lipton wrote a book called Biology of Belief, and I read that book. And that book is, I would say, probably one of the most important books you'll ever read in your life after the Quran and a few other books that I feel were super important, because it talks about literally how you are shaped by the genes, obviously the genes that you have, but those genes that you have are literally shaped from all of the stress or trauma or whatever it is that they go through. And he did a bunch of tests, like with fathers, kids, mothers, daughters, etc. And he found that there's a direct correlation between them. And that sometimes also there's like a placebo effect, that if you feel and if you think that there is a problem, but there isn't actually a problem, it becomes, it's some things that start being just in your imagination because of how tense or how anxious you could be. So and if you convince yourself that there's nothing wrong, it could also have like that's what I meant. It could have a placebo effect that like khalas, it's just you're absolutely fine, and you program your mind to get over something that is just really bad.
Your mind doesn't know negative. So when you tell yourself there's nothing wrong, you're ignoring the nothing part.
Yeah.
And you're keeping the wrong part.
Mm.
So what you're telling yourself is there is something wrong, but you don't know what it is. And you're giving your mind and yourself and your pineal gland the possibility to all wrongs possible.
Yeah.
So it's not nothing is wrong. You should be everything is great or everything is fine. Your mind doesn't accept negativity.
I was gonna get to that, because Napoleon Hill wrote a lot about that in his book Think and Grow Rich, which is the auto-suggestion, the idea of the concept of auto-suggestion in your subconscious mind. I actually have that, but I'll get to that in a bit. But before we do that, I was gonna actually ask you, how does NLP differentiate from normal therapy or normal psychiatric, let's say therapies, because obviously there's a huge difference between both.
I'm not gonna say that it's the same. So there's a lot of difference, but I don't want to downgrade them by saying what I'm about to say. When they do it to heal one specific thing. NLP teaches you how to do it. You know the story about giving a man a fish and teaching him how to fish? That's it.
So basically NLP resolves the issue at the root cause.
Yeah. That solves the root cause as well. That's not the thing that I'm saying. One is teaching somebody how to fish so they can do it themselves. They don't need you anymore. And the other one is you're giving somebody a fish so they will come back to you whenever they're hungry. You get the point?
Yeah. I know what you mean.
It's the same story when they tell you give a man an axe,
Yeah.
and he'll spend 2 days trying to cut down a tree, whereas someone will use 2 hours sharpening the axe and then cut it down the same day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's what it is really. It's how far your awareness has ascended to where you start seeing things in different ways. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And that evolving process requires practice, just like everything else. And I think that's what the NLP process is. It's just you need to practice around looking, because here's the thing that me as a person, I've encountered with all the struggles and the stresses of business that I've done in my early years and now, is the only thing that kept me going is I started looking at the problems that I have as worldly problems, and they're problems because I believe they're problems. Whereas if you disconnect that cord and you really think about how life itself is not promised and you can be dead tonight, then you start looking at these problems as problems that are there as obstacles to slow you down. Now it's up to you whether you're gonna let them slow you down or looking at them as nothing, just, you know, things that are meant to be there but supposed to overlook.
But I was actually meant to ask you this question because I know your team at YouRent is growing rapidly. How do you make sure that your staff and your employees are all thinking in the same sort of attitude, in the same way that you are? How do you sort of, I would say, I don't know, I can't say train them, but try to get them to follow the same mentality?
You can't.
I was about to say the exact
you
same.
can't.
It's
You
impossible.
can't. The only thing you can do is lead by. The only thing you can do is lead by example. You have to lead by example. You have to show them who you are and what you do, and by default, the ones that are gonna wanna absorb that will. The ones that are gonna be repelling that will fall off.
It's not just absorbing that; it goes deeper than that. Because look, the way you do one thing is the way you do everything.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, when you come to the office and you're not honest at your work, do you think the next thing you do, you're going to be honest in it?
أكيد لا.
Okay. If you're not honest in anything,
Yeah.
what are you doing exactly? Nothing. If somebody were to sit with him and copy everything that he does, he would still not be the same.
Yeah.
Because there are certain habits that Omar has that he does not share with the public. It's his personal. Right?
Yeah.
Those habits also make him who he is. You understand?
Yeah.
So even if somebody's with him 20 hours a day, in the 4 hours he's sleeping, whatever, 6 hours, 8 hours, whatever, when he's sleeping, the rituals before sleeping, the rituals when you wake up, the person is not going to know about them, right? Those make a big difference as well, because that's where you're programming your mind. You program your mind right before you sleep, because you change the brain waves.
Let me also add to that. If you look at people like Elon Musk, who has thousands of employees,
Yeah.
what do you think keeps his company together? Do you think it's the managers? Do you think it's the employees that he handpicks? No, bro. It's the man and the character that he projects to all the people that work for him, that it plants a seed of fear, where if we, you know, go right or left with him, we're gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's what he projects from the level that he's operating from. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So who
Yeah,
you
but-
are as a person and how you present yourself and how far you go, it all roots back to you, man. It's the power you carry within. Because I'm pretty sure there are many people who work for Elon he doesn't know they exist.
Yeah.
Yet they do everything in their power to keep their job. And why do you think? It's because they know this guy is he's earned their respect. And it in their eyes, they're privileged, or it's a privilege for them to work for him. Given he doesn't know they exist, but it's because of all that he's built and what he showed of his capabilities that installs this level of, you know, fear in people who work for him, where, you know, we're not going to mess about or ruin this opportunity.
Do you feel like it's also a lot of it, especially with these executives, that a lot of it is their superior ability in looking and seeing opportunities in problems that they face? And for example, take Elon
It's
Musk.
their story, man. It's their story.
Yeah.
I mean, let me just
like
give
their story that they find always opportunity in problems. Is that what you mean?
If you
or?
don't see anything negative
No.
negative, everything is positive to you. And if everything is positive, that means you can make something out of everything.
Yeah.
Every single thing.
But this is
Even
the thing.
if you
That's the thing. Like, how can you tell someone that's like really, really, really down on his luck? How can you tell him, Wallahi, you have to look at things positively if he had loss of wealth or loss of someone that he loves or loss of this, and he hasn't
Thank
been
you
blessed.
so much, man. Here's the thing, and I watched something yesterday on this topic. It's again going back to perspective, because when you fall in that state, you're in a victim mindset, which is, oh my God, why is this happening to me? Why me? Why me? Why? But
No, I mean, I agree with them, but just being the devil's advocate, because some people will be watching this, are like, yeah, these guys are just preaching on this podcast about talking this and that. They don't know how it feels like to lose a mother, la samahallah, or to lose a father.
Correct. But losing a mother and losing a father, why doesn't he look at it in a way
Or
where
the kids in Gaza right now.
what is that trying to teach him?
It's a lesson for
You
him.
get what I'm trying to say?
Everything is a
every
lesson.
struggle you go through is trying to teach you something, bro. And the more you spend time dwelling versus trying to find what it's trying to teach you, that's that time you'll never get back, bro. That's my point.
Tate actually said something once that was very important, and I don't know. I think he just quoted someone, but I don't know who's the original person that said that. But he said that the energy that you exert feeling sorry or bad about something, or sad about something, the same energy that you can
costs
use.
the same amount.
It costs the same amount
Because
if you
you're putting in the same amount of time.
Yeah.
Everything is based on
no,
time.
not just money, but yani mental
Money-
discharge.
The paper money that you look at, that's not the actual money. The actual money is time.
Yeah,
Because everybody has a limited amount of it.
yeah.
But everybody has the same amount every single day.
Mm.
You understand?
And also, emotions play a huge role, man. If you don't know how to control your emotions, and if you're not aware
Yeah.
of how taming these voices, bro, this is where you start. You have to know how to tame your feelings, bro, because your feelings will ruin you
Yeah.
in everything. Think about it. Like every bad decision you made in your life, everything you've gotten yourself into that turned out to be negative. If you really think about it, it led because of a decision that you made or something that you did that you weren't supposed to.
When we did the podcast, me and you, Omar, you really mentioned a lot of things that I could really relate to. That Anjad, you were really, really down on your luck, and you were like, "Khalas," like you reached absolute bottom.
Yeah.
How did you, like, really? What was it that brought you out of it?
It's
Like-
not about. Thank you for saying that. I know exactly where you're going with this. Sorry to interrupt you, but
No, it's fine because
I don't
I
want
want if
I don't want
there's
the
someone
world to
watching.
think- yeah,
watching
I
this
don't-
to get something out of it, like, okay, how do I get myself out
Thank
of
you.
this shitty situation?
Listen, it's very easy, and let me tell you, man, the challenges I've faced or have faced in the past 2 years with everything that's going on with the merger, with my company, and with the government, was a bigger test than that time. Does that make sense? Like,
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, and it's.
Yani, the time that you're supposed to be celebrating it turned out to be more stressful.
Thank you.
and
So just
more
you
time.
have to understand that, man. There's seasons, bro. Life is seasons. It's all seasons, bro. You're never gonna be up your whole life, and you're not gonna be down your whole life.
It's not
seasons.
possible. Even the proof is that how does a heartbeat look? It goes up and down,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's your proof. Once that stops, that means it's steady.
Yes.
You're never gonna be steady. It's not possible.
And
Even on a
here-
losing day, you're gonna win, and on a winning day, you're gonna lose.
Thank you. And here's what I learned, and I was talking to you about this in the car now, just before coming here, is just when you know you've been through it all, and you make it out, and you're in a season where it's uphill now.
Yeah.
That's also a test.
Because
Everything, let me just finish, please. Everything that you do in that uphill, coming out of like a real bad low,
Yeah.
is what you're going to be paying for when you're down again, because it's coming, you're going to be down again.
Yeah.
And it's two different levels of being down. So, for example, being down and out the first time trying to launch a business, you have everything to lose, okay?
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can start from scratch with something else, you know? But when you've already built something and you go through a storm that's bigger than you know what I mean? And you have no choice but to walk with faith, which is what happened with me, because nothing was certain. Everything was uncertain. And things that are out of my control, for example, with us, with raising funding, it took a long time because the VC landscape and the political circumstances in the world caused these VCs to pull back investments. Now, can I control that?
No.
No, but it was a storm where it was a sink or swim moment. So you're going to go through sink or swim moments in your life multiple times. The only difference is, and that's what I realized, is the man that I was in the first struggle could have no way been able to handle the struggle that I went through now. And the man that I am now can go back in time to the first struggle and laugh about it because it was nothing. Does
So
that make
basically,
sense?
what you're trying to say is that just when you think it's already hard and tough, rest assured that it's probably going to get harder and tougher. So whatever you're complaining about right now is only maybe a drop in the ocean of what you could be facing in
And
the future.
the only difference is you become more equipped as a man, given you've invested your energy correctly in that time. Because I did not sit on my ass and dwell. I did not sit and count all the problems in my life.
Mm.
I was like, these problems are here. I can't control it. I can only do my best to keep myself calm and contained through. Like here's something I want to say. There are seasons that you go through that are teaching you nothing but patience. You have to stand still, weather the storm.
Yeah.
You just don't do anything. Maintain. And that's what I had to do. I had to maintain despite being like bombarded with issues and obstacles and uncertainties. I had to mentally equip myself to stay content and stay calm throughout the whole process. And then you start seeing signs, man, like things just like you're about to give up, something happens. You take that as a sign, okay, you know what, I'm on the right path. I'm gonna keep going.
Mm.
You reach a breaking point, something else happens.
Yeah.
Khalas, then you understand the game. You know what I mean? It's really nothing but a game, man. You're just trying to level up. You keep leveling up. You can always quit, but the people who made it are people who never gave up. And you hear that so many times, but it's true. But it's harder, easier said than done.
A man who's been through 1,000 hard times knows 1,000 ways to rebuild,
Mm. Well said. Well said. Yeah,
and 1,000 ways to destroy.
that's true. But this is my question to both of you. It's very what you guys are saying is very logical. But again, I have to put like a bit of an exception, which is mainly specifically about the loss of loved ones, and primarily maybe any one of your parents, God forbid, or someone very close. This is the hardest one to like. What do you do in this case?
I'll
Like,
tell
what-
you. I mean, you speak first.
It's okay, go ahead. I was
I'm
waiting.
trying to touch
Well,
on the touchy
yeah,
topics
look,
because
losing a loved one, in my opinion, affects those who still don't understand why they're here. Does that make sense?
yeah.
In my opinion, if you
It does.
really understand why you're here and a loved one passes, the only thing that's making you sad is the memories that you're going to carry with them. But if you're sitting and operating from a state of mind where you're gone today, but I'm following you soon,
Mm.
it's like this is it. Like the end is the same for all of us. We're all going to end up there.
Mm.
Someone just happened to go before we did. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And age does not play a role here. Everyone has a destined time on earth.
Gender does not play a
Yeah,
role.
nothing plays a
Rich,
role.
poor doesn't play a role. Nothing plays a role.
Once you understand deep inside, and I'll let you speak more on this, but once you understand deep inside that you're on borrowed time on this earth,
Yeah.
then it becomes not easier, but you start telling yourself that, okay, we shall meet again. We're gonna meet again one day. You know what I mean? It's a chapter that we're all gonna go through. pretty
And
much.
once you start also reminding yourself that in Arabic we say الموت حق, and death is
رحمة,
guaranteed.
bro. الموت رحمة.
Yeah.
They call it death is mercy.
It is mercy.
It's mercy, man. It's the biggest form of mercy because
Imagine if you were to live in the same body for 10,000 years.
yeah,
Mm.
Would you not want to die?
Obviously, who the hell wants to?
those who don't
go
want to
through-
die are those who
Who have
only
have no faith that there is
worldly
something-
beliefs. They have worldly beliefs. That's all they believe in. That
I want to share one thing. The truth is, when somebody dies, you're not crying because they're dead. You're crying because there's a part of you that you can never fulfill anymore,
Yeah.
and you're crying because you're selfish. That's the truth.
yeah.
You don't
mean-
cry because the person is gone. You're crying because there's certain things that you cannot get anymore.
Correct.
I think
For
what
me
you're trying to say
personally-
is that you should not let your happiness or your well-being be dependent on someone.
I'm
But
not
imagine
saying
if
I'm
it's
not saying
imagine
that.
if it's a father or a mother.
We all went through.
my younger
our parents
brother-
went through it, man.
Yeah.
My younger brother, he passed away in
Mm.
2013.
Mm.
I had the hardest time ever.
Mm.
Do you know why?
Mm.
He was the closest person in the world to me.
Mm.
Me and him grew up together. Everything from child all the way till he was 18 years old. And when he was 18, me and him were close the whole time.
Yeah.
We used to watch movies together. Like, we used to sleep in the same room. He's my brother.
Yeah.
And when I lost him, I couldn't understand. I blamed everybody for it.
How long
Mm.
was it again? 13 years? It's been 13 years?
11 years.
11 years. Can I ask you a question? And I hope it's something you can answer. Do you feel like Allah yarhamah, his passing was something that woke
Yes.
you up to your purpose?
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
So what I'm
It
what I'm
had
trying
to
to
be,
say,
because if he wasn't there, there's a lot of things that I wouldn't have learned.
yeah.
There's something that he taught me in 2011. I swear to God, to this day, I apply it in my life. To this day.
Which is?
And
It was a secret thing.
Oh, okay,
and
okay.
that's a
Sorry, I'll
blessing.
share with you
No,
in
no,
private.
no.
in
That's
private.
fine.
But no, the thing is, you see why I'm asking these questions is because I knew his brother very well, and I loved his brother as well, and he was actually my favorite kid in school, honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
trust me when I say this, he was a million times better than me.
He was a genuine soul, but why I'm touching base on this is because God gives and God takes. When he takes, he knows what to give, and you may not understand it today, you may not understand it next month, next year, but one day you'll understand
Yeah.
what role it played in your life.
If you don't give up.
Of course.
If you
Yeah.
don't give up. If you give up, you'll never get the answer.
طيب, and like staying on the topic of NLP and just how developing a positive mindset, do you feel like this NLP is something substantial or fundamental in developing your goals and motivations?
For me personally,
Yeah, like
Yes.
or any person's goal and motivation. Do you feel like NLP is something that really has to be understood, or let's say at least understood, so that you can really properly achieve your goals? Because if you don't understand the concept at least of NLP and how to program your mind, then your plans are just a mirage.
no, look, there's many different ways of doing it. I'm not going to say NLP is the only way of doing it, 100%. NLP
It's a method.
is a method,
It's a
basically.
method, yeah.
Basically a method. And
People do
everybody should be
meditation.
able to use this method. It's shocking that to this day, we don't understand like that human beings come in three forms. When you talk to somebody, yeah, I'm alive and I'm gonna die. That's it. That's all they know. They don't know anything about their soul. They don't know anything about their body. They don't know about themselves.
The inner work.
They don't know anything about themselves.
Their soul.
Yeah.
And if you don't know anything about yourself, how are you gonna move forward? If you are, for example, like, I'm not talking about physically, but spiritually, if you're handicapped
Yeah.
and you can't walk
Yeah.
and you're trying to walk, how exactly are you going to do that?
Yeah.
If you can't do it physically, are you going to be able to do it spiritually? You can't.
Yeah,
You need to know where you're good and what you're good at.
Think about it this way, man. Let me tell you something. The people that you're talking about, when you see someone missing limbs, yet
Yeah.
with a big smile on their face, and God blesses them. You see some of them who are blessed and famous and doing things in their life. What people don't understand is God put these people in front of us to appreciate what we have.
Yeah.
Because the spirit that they carry, the strength that they carry to operate without everything that we have, is the biggest sign of how strong a spirit can become.
Yeah.
It's not just
Trust me, none of us will stand a day without a limb, bro. We'll become suicidal. You know what I mean?
We'll go back to the point where God says, He won't burden a soul.
Correct.
With
And
more than
if
what
you
can
were
handle.
if you were in His place, you wouldn't make it.
Yeah.
That's why you're not.
Exactly. Thank you. But what I'm trying to tell
That's
you
why you're
is
not.
everyone around you is a set example
For you.
of how God blesses and how God takes. That's it. And that, which is why, man, I believe envy, jealousy, all that, it's a demonic form. It's a demonic trait. It's something that has nothing to do with what is instilled in us as human beings to operate. Like, all this is outside evil, demonic noise that's only trying to ruin
Yeah.
or slow us down or change the way we think and change the way we act.
No,
But
it's
speaking-
to adapt you to your desires. That's the main
Or
cause.
to make
Because
you more
anything that's
submissive to your
desirable,
desires.
anything that's desirable is for your physical form.
No,
What
excuse
do you
me.
mean? What do you mean?
God created the angels.
Right.
I read this somewhere. I don't remember where. But God created the angels
Yeah.
with a mind but no desires.
Yeah.
And God created the animals with desire but no minds. You understand? And God created human with mind and desires.
You mean consciousness? Yes.
Yeah.
In my mind.
You get to choose if you want to be elevated to the level of the angels, where you control your desires,
Yeah.
or you want to be at the level of animals, where your desires control you. That's simple.
And then there's the demon, which is full of lust and everything that comes with that, and negativity.
There's more than one demon.
Yeah. No, but like, for example, me, man, all of us, I think, all of us as kids or growing up or at certain stages in our lives had envy in some shape, way, or form instilled in
Of
us.
course.
Whether it's someone who bought a new game, a new car, or whatever.
Of course.
I can legit tell you, man, I operate from a place today where I don't have it in me, bro, to look at someone who has everything, bro, and be jealous.
Yeah.
I read something, I think it was 2 years ago, and I kind of like picked it up and started practicing it in my day to day. It's very simple. What you wish for others is what God will give you in return.
Yeah.
So if you
The
if
power
you
of
carry
attraction.
envy and jealousy, then
Oh, God.
prepare to be deprived from that. You know what I mean?
And speaking of that, do you feel like, now that we spoke a lot about NLP and how it affects a person's thinking and brings out the best in them, do you feel like there's a lot of commonalities between Islam and NLP?
Yes, definitely.
Really?
Definitely.
Can you elaborate how?
Well, based on what he just said, that what you wish for others is what you get, like basically, yeah. Say this in the Islamic way. أرضي الآخر كما ترضي لنفسك.
Not only that, man, the Quran is filled with clues, bro. And
I went
Correct.
off based on what you're saying. That's why. So I just stuck to the same topic. If you
Yeah.
want, there's a million of them, man.
I watched a reel from, funny enough, a revert, an American person who reverted to Islam, full American, like fully white.
He lives here.
No, just a
Okay.
random reel, and he was saying, and man, it was so impressive to see. He learned Arabic. He knew how to read the Quran.
MashaAllah.
He said something, and man, it clicked. He's like, the Quran, it's not a bunch of stories. It's a map.
Yeah.
Everything that's written is supposed to show you how to live a righteous life. And if you follow what it tells you,
You're
then
good.
you will have it here and in the
Yeah.
Akhirah, which is the afterlife. You know what I mean? So, in my opinion, the Quran is full of clues. It's full. Not only that, man. God keeps reminding you in the Quran. Leave worldly things. Do not get greedy. Do not focus on worldly things.
Worldly
Yeah.
desires.
Anything worldly, keyword, do not obsess over it, because that's not what's promised for you.
And it's not. It's also the dunya stuff, and God tells you always not to be attached to the dunya stuff, because if you're gonna be attached to the dunya stuff, then that's not really the test of life, right?
It's not the
Then
test of
again,
life. It's
Because the test of
Dunya
life.
is the physical form. You
Yeah.
should never attach to it. That's exactly what's being said. And the only way for any human being to survive, or for anything to survive, anything in the entire world, is through water. What you're basically doing, before you drink water, what do they tell you to say?
Bismillah.
Why?
But
Because you're changing the molecules.
100%.
And when you
you're
pray,
blessing-
you're
putting a
changing the
blessing,
molecules
yes.
inside you. The water
100%,
inside you is
man.
changing.
100%. And look, like I said, man, it's a very broad topic that you can talk about. So like, but I'll give you a very simple thing that happens around you, that's written in the Quran, that is enough to make you believe that there's a higher power.
Which is
Karma. Have you ever
karma. In its essence, is not. It's. I think it's
I'll tell you what it is.
Buddhist.
Whatever
or-
it is, whatever it is, I'm just using karma as a familiar term for people to understand.
Buddhism is a
It's-
religion or a cult?
It's simple. Your acts in this world can either be good and can be bad.
Yeah.
In both cases, God will set an example of you to the world when you leave.
Yeah.
So if you practice a life where you are in the wrong path, you will not have a good... No, name one person you know that was famous, rich, but was on the wrong path, that had a happy ending. One person, bro.
Yeah.
Doesn't exist. And that is enough to make you believe that it's not only, oh, wallah, go do good deeds here in this life so you can go to heaven. No. Even here, you will be set as an example to the world on where you'll end up if you follow the wrong path. And where you'll end up if you follow the right path.
Yeah, I mean, I do see it. Like, even when I was doing a little bit of research, like between NLP and watching the kind of similarities they have with Islam, and like just briefly, like power of intention, the power of words of language, self-reflection, awareness, personal responsibility, accountability, focusing on positive change, mindfulness and presence, ethical conduct and integrity, and the concept of faith and the concept of faith and belief system. They're all concepts in NLP that are more or less directly mentioned also in the Quran. But the idea is that what I noticed that a lot of it, at the essence of NLP and Islam is communication, which is basically the words that you either say to yourself or say to others, and just communicating your intentions, what you're doing, and your thoughts in a clear manner.
It's intention.
Yeah.
Right.
And this also helps in this when you're that aware, or when let's say you're that mindful of everything that you're doing, it increases your self-reflection. It increases your self-reflection and self-awareness, because then you're like, okay, I'm doing this to achieve this, so I can get from here to here. Because I'm sure you notice in your company, a lot of people probably are working, but they don't really know what they're doing. Like, maybe they're great, but they don't have like that critical thinking, like, okay, what happens next? How do I do this? What, like, you know, and I feel like this is what separates the managers from the executives, or the people that make it higher in company. Because I'll tell you, for example, in construction, you'll always find a lot of people, like in my field, like when previously with my father's company, we always noticed that the huge difference between the project managers are people that have a very wide, like, let's say, eagle eye view onto everything, and then there are people that are just like micromanaging every tiny.
This cannot exist without this.
Yeah.
So
You won't have leaders if you don't have followers, no?
Yeah.
not only that, man, I don't like the term leaders and followers, but I feel like when you set out on a mission, and obviously depends on the mission and the size of the mission that you embark on, you have your soul tribe, man. And what I like to call is your employees, your people who are working to help you get there, are assigned to help you to get there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not something that no one can do it on their own. So what I mean, like, it's just this person has been assigned to be a part of your life, to fulfill a certain chapter in your life. You know what I mean? And maybe, just maybe, and I'm saying they're assigned now, maybe tomorrow they leave, or you get replaced.
Yeah.
That's the period that they were assigned. And the same applies to friends, same applies to relationships, same applies to having your parents around. They're assigned in
Yeah.
your life for a timeline. That timeline will expire. And once you wrap your head around that, once you understand that everyone and everything is temporary, and all you have is you, in the end of the day, that's when you start operating differently as a human being.
Do you feel like also dua or supplication or just repeating the things over and over again, do you feel like that's also a
100%.
fundamental thing in helping you? Like when you get up every day and you're like, all right, I'm going to make my prayers, I'm going to do this and that, and you're just consistently hitting.
It's a life hack, bro. Prayers are a life hack.
Yeah,
in my opinion, and people don't know this, and people were like, man, what are you talking about, bro? Like, prayer, like, nah, bro, prayer is a life hack, man.
In what sense? I'm curious.
Think about it in a way where, let me put it as an example. If you have a piggy bank, okay, and you put $1 in that piggy bank every single day,
Yeah.
and you're not counting how many dollars you're shoving inside that piggy
Yeah.
bank. One day you open that and you find $3,000 inside that piggy bank. Okay? When you really needed that money. That act, it multiplying and compiling over time, has served the purpose to help you at a certain point in your given time.
Yeah.
In my opinion, prayers work the same way. You may pray the same prayer every day for 5 years and see nothing happen.
Yeah.
But then you will do that prayer one more time and see it all happen in front of your eyes.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it, is because you don't know when it's going to come, but the act of faith and belief of knowing that my prayer is going to be answered is what gets it to be answered.
That's
Now,
true.
That's what they call husn al-dhan billah, is when you have absolute no doubt.
Yeah.
Even when people call you delusion, it's a delusional
Yeah.
act. It is a delusional act.
You have to be the.
Yeah, you have to be delusional act to sit there, and if you ask me, bro, if you both ask me, Omar, where do you see yourself? I'm not there now, but if I tell you I'm gonna be a billionaire at some point in my life,
Yeah.
to you guys, you can easily say, well, bro, if you make it to the millions, you're lucky. Sure, that's your perspective, but I have no doubt
That's not the perspective of the person in front of you. That's their limit.
Yes, what I believe deep inside me, there's no doubt inside me today that doesn't tell me I will become a billionaire one day. No doubt. It's instilled, programmed inside me. When it happens, I don't give a shit. But what I know is I'm gonna do everything in my power to get there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just belief, man, and being delusional to the point where you know you're gonna make it. And this is something else. It's about faith. It's when tell you when they talk about the topic of abundance, they say you have to operate from an abundant mindset.
Yeah.
You know, people don't really express it or explain it the same way. What I've noticed is, if you believe deep inside that you have it already, like it's there. I know it's invisible, but it's there. It will come to fruition. It will.
Yeah.
And that's
I
what
agree.
that's look. There's magic in life, man. I want to, we use it for lack of a better term, but that's how the dreams come to reality. That process, man. I mean, I'll give you the easiest example. Someone who wins the lottery and cashes out $75 million
That's so
when
funny.
all they've made is $40,000 a year their entire life. You know what I mean? That on its own, it's what are the odds, man? It's like 1,000,000,000 to 1. You know what I mean? But it happens. And it changes not only their lives, but it changes generations. I mean, for the ones who are smart, most of them end up broke. But
Because they only understand 40,000.
not only that, it's because I don't think, I believe that for you to have a certain or attain a certain level of wealth, you need to be ready for it. And I feel like these
You have
people
to
were not
become that
ready
person.
for it. Yeah. No, people are just not ready for it. You know what I mean? And with me, what I've programmed in my mind is whenever I go through even financial struggles in my life, and I feel like there's a delayed gratification, or it's taking too long to bounce back, Whereas I have no doubt inside me that I'm going to bounce back even higher, because think of a bouncing ball. If you get a bouncing ball and you just toss it on the ground, it's going to do 3-4 bounces and then just roll on the floor.
Yeah.
Now slam the ball on the floor, it's going to hit the ceiling.
So a lot of it is just really
it's
the
how-
amount
yeah,
of energy and intention you really put into something.
it's the rubber
And,
band effect. It's the rubber band
yeah.
effect, man. And it's in the end of
I
the
was
day,
about to say it.
yeah, it's a rubber band effect. And once you understand that wealth and blessings do not come in the form of money and money only,
Yeah.
is when you start
very
looking
true.
at all your other blessings in your life. Like, man, marriage is a blessing, love is a blessing, parents is a blessing, health is, all these are blessings.
Even like
But people made blessings revolve around money
Yeah.
and currency when it's not. Really?
that's 100% true, because you cannot with money. There are some things that you just cannot get back.
100%.
And
You
if you
can't
can,
get your health.
yeah, I mean,
100%.
yes and no, but the problem is that you can never, you can never 100% rely on money to solve all of your
Yeah, but how
problems.
many stories have you heard of people being cured of diseases
Yeah,
in a miraculous way, in a form
Yeah.
of a miracle? You know what I mean? I know a couple. You know what I mean?
I know.
So yeah, at the end of the day, man, it's money. In my opinion, comes last, man. Once you kind of like understand the game,
yeah.
it's nothing but a tool.
So when it comes to self-control and discipline, how does NLP help in really like improving those particular areas?
With discipline, it shows you a goal.
Yeah,
It shows you an image at the end,
yeah,
because it teaches you how to manifest. So you have that image in the back of your head all the time.
Mm.
Because after going through NLP and understanding how to manifest the correct way, I was able to form an image in my head, and I am becoming that image every single day. So it helps me whenever I'm being like going off track, for example.
yeah,
I look at that image and I'm like, that image would not do this. And then I change back into the track that I was following before. Does that make sense?
yeah. But can you like trying to think of an example of something like
I would
that?
say mostly through manifestation. But
Yeah.
I didn't know how to manifest before I went through NLP.
Okay, why? Why did you have a problem with that before?
Because I didn't understand what it was.
Yeah,
How can you do something you don't understand?
Can I tell you something? I'll tell you something funny, man. I'll tell you a quick story. I knew of a friend, and this is a real story, guys. Again, a friend of mine who was in business with someone else, partners. They
okay.
were actually friends. They both founded the company. 2 years down the line, company started generating revenue. They started, seeing some form of success in the
Mhm.
process. And then 6 months after that, everything started going downhill, and it didn't make sense. They started running out of cash because they're a startup, right? They were trying to raise money. It was impossible. So my friend calls me, and I swear to God, I feel like when these things happen in your life, that's how you know it's not by coincidence. It's like everything is scripted. You know what I mean? Calls me up. He's like, Omar, listen, I have a problem in my house. So
One of the two guys.
let me tell you something. No, let me tell you. He called me. He's like, brother, my startup, me and my partner, we started it. This is where we're at. So here's the problems that I see as to why we're not progressing. This is our cash burn. This is how much money we have in the bank. This is how much time we have left. We've spoken to this investor. We've done this. We've done that. We've done this, blah, 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 blah. I kept talking and talking. Everything about what? Worldly problems related to business.
Yeah.
He's like, but man, nothing is working. And in honesty, man, I just wanted to call you and ask you, bro, when do you know when to pull the plug? I was like, brother, you're asking the wrong person, the wrong
Exactly.
question.
Because you
And
never pulled the plug.
so I was like, let me ask you a question, brother. What is your partner doing? He's like, oh, bro, that's a whole topic for a whole different story. I was like, no, tell me. What is he doing? Is he helping you? He's like, well, 6 months ago, so on and so forth. His heart is not in the game anymore. And when things got tough, I'm the one who was pushing. I'm the one who's carrying the weight. And again, this is a a shareholder and owner in the company, right? So they're both like 50-50
Yeah.
in this. I was like, okay, bro. Now I'm gonna tell you this, and it's gonna maybe take you by surprise, but trust me when I tell you, I know what I'm talking about. I was like, bro, your whole life and your whole business is crashing, and it's going downhill because you have someone who doesn't have the same energy and vibration that's being invested into the business.
Yeah.
And for you to have success in it, him being around you, it will never happen. So, brother, before you look at your statements, before you look at your cash burn and your runway, you need to get rid of him or get him back in the game. Otherwise,
But you can't force someone to be.
Thank
can't
you.
force
You
someone.
cannot force.
خلاص,
You
if
cannot force.
Unless he
You cannot force, but life has a way, my friend. There are unseen forces who are working for you, my friend. And funny enough, what started as a fight between them,
Yeah.
where they weren't getting into middle grounds, to where one of them just put his foot down and said, listen, you either leave or we will sink this entire ship and both of you will carry this debt and so be it.
Yeah.
And it was not small debt. And that scared him enough to where the other guy left. And a month after he left, my friend, after he left, the business took off, and now he's close to acquisition.
Wow.
Of the company.
That's crazy.
So what I'm trying to tell you guys is NLP has related to this. It's a lens that you kind of have from
Yeah.
life experiences to where you see life from a perspective where, brother, you start looking at other people and feel
Yeah.
bad for them. It's like, man, when you look at
I
life,
feel
and
sorry for them.
not
You
only
don't-
sorry and bad, but like you are operating from a level of consciousness to where you start
That's
seeing
superior.
energetic forces that are preventing you from progressing. I can tell you the same story about a couple that were married. Both were miserable. Both looked like shit. The minute they were separated, bro, they both had the biggest glow up, bro.
Yeah.
And they both started becoming very successful in their lives. And I've witnessed that firsthand. Sometimes you don't know that the reason why you're stuck has nothing to do with you or whatever is in your hand, but it's because of someone around you
That's
or
dragging you down.
something around you
And
or
you have,
something
yeah.
in you.
Do you know
what I'm
why?
trying to say?
Do you know why you're saying this?
And if you're not obsessed on finding out where
Yeah.
it is,
You're always gonna be
then my
stuck in
brother,
that,
you're gonna be stuck in a victim
Yeah.
mindset, and you're never gonna make it. Honestly.
Can I tell you something? This is just to show you an idea of how it works, okay?
of how what works.
What he's talking about,
Yeah.
like how they were together, the partners in the
Yeah.
beginning they were good, and then they split up and things didn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
Let me briefly explain this to you right now. Imagine there's somebody standing here.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? Imagine there's a lion here.
Yeah.
Okay. What color was the lion for you?
Beige.
What color was the lion for you?
Blue.
What color was the lion for me? White.
I don't know. Whatever.
Okay. If three of us sit down and decide to draw the lion, each one of us is gonna draw it differently.
Correct.
Yeah.
Now, if I tell you there's a white lion over here,
Yeah.
you're gonna see white. He's gonna see white. I'm gonna see white.
Yeah.
Once we all see white, there's
Yeah,
a
I see
higher
where you're going
chance
with this.
of that happening.
Of the
So
lion
one
being
day
white, yeah.
we're
Yeah.
gonna be sitting in a place where there is a white lion there. And if you decided that blue and we all stuck to blue,
Yeah.
we would go to a place where there is a lion that's blue color. Not that maybe it doesn't mean that it's real. It could be just like a
Yeah.
statue or a drawing or whatever. But that's how it works.
It's just perception of
Another-
what
Now
you see.
both of them,
Yeah.
they had two different pictures of the lion. You understand?
Yeah, yeah, I know
That's
what
why
you
it wouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like faith and religion, I know you guys are quite practicing. How do you feel like Islam or religion has helped, in brief, in your business or in your work or in your professional life? Because I know for you it was...
It's very simple. It's I now know, my friend, that the only entity I have
Yeah.
behind me in this life is God, bro.
Mm.
Is man, that's
And you
the
learned
beauty
that
of it.
the
It's
hard way, I remember you
not
telling
the
me.
hard way, bro. It's like you know, and I feel blessed for it, man, because not everyone gets this
Yeah.
blessing, bro. Not everyone gets this guidance. It's guidance. You get guided. And
What do you call it in Arabic?
hidayah.
Hidayah.
Hidayah,
There you
yes.
go.
So
Hidayah.
for me, coming from a person who 4 years ago, like I said, bro, I was not practicing, I was not praying, I wasn't that, I wasn't me now, you know what I mean? And how it happened, it didn't happen. Wallah, I woke up one day and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna decide to pray today. No, I used to go
Yeah.
to Friday prayers, but I used to go because I had to, or like I felt bad if I didn't go, you know.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, if I don't pray 5 times a week, at least let me go to the Friday prayers. Kind of a religion is
Just
that, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
Convincing yourself.
convincing yourself and like
that you are a Muslim.
and
That's
people
it,
around
pretty
you, bro.
much.
You know what I mean? But then, how it happened for me, and that's the beauty of guidance. It doesn't happen. It only happens when you're at the lowest of the low,
Yeah.
and you're lucky if it happens, bro. You're lucky if it happens because some people don't make it, man, and that's why suicide.
Most
happens.
people don't
Yeah,
make it.
Suicide and people who you see who have lost it and to this day haven't recovered are people who don't know.
And not just that don't know, but they're the people also that like
Refuse to know.
exactly. I was just about
They
to say
repel
that.
it. You know what I mean? Because I still to this day encounter people
They just have like this wall where they
Who feel-
purposely.
no, not purposely.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Purpose is probably the wrong way to describe it, but like they just don't know any better. They're just very ignorant about it.
They live in a world. I like to call it. They live in a world where I have to see it to believe it, and if I
Yeah.
don't see it, I won't believe it. That, my friend, is a disease that will kill you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But to me, how it happened
I
for
meet
me.
a lot of people like that. It's
Yeah,
scary.
how it happened for me, and it wasn't normal how it happened for me because it got to the point where I didn't understand it, bro. I didn't understand what was happening to me.
Yeah.
You know, I was just very drawn. I was drawn to praying. I was
Yeah.
drawn, and funny enough, bro, that gave me all the answers, all the strength that I needed to make it through that process.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So again, each one has their own version of the story. Each one has their own. But here's the thing, man, and I. This is what scares me. Do you see? I'll tell you something. Every person I met that's a Muslim or practicing Muslim who prays and like does sadaqah and fasts and like brags about it,
You're not supposed to.
I'll tell you one thing that happens to them, and it will happen to you when you reach a point where you start looking at other Muslims. Oh man, I'm better than him. I do Fajr prayers.
yeah,
Every person that operates from there, and mark my words, and
Yeah.
I've seen it happen, fall out of religion, and you witness it.
yeah. That's true.
You then a year later you see them in clubs and partying.
That's very
Because that's God's punishment, where when you're in your most where religion is, you're practicing religion the right way, is when you believe it's to each his own, and you don't pay attention to others, you don't compare yourself to others, and you don't question
true. Yeah,
what other people are doing. You know what I mean? That's the right way of doing it. Because once you start flexing on others and saying I'm better than this guy and at least I do this and I give more than this, that's when God will make you forget him, throw
you
you back
forget
into the
yourself.
lot, yeah, and then you start questioning, oh, how did I get here?
yeah,
You know what I mean? Then he gives you, if you're lucky, he gives you another chance.
No, not if you're lucky. He always gives another chance.
yeah.
Yeah, but if you're lucky to be able to be strong enough to go back to it, you know what I mean? That's what I mean.
I mean, it's
But he's the only one who will give you time any time of the day
yeah,
and for as long as you want, because I'm pretty sure anybody who even calls their own parents, their parents wouldn't talk to them for 24 hours a day, and you can do that with God anytime you like.
yeah.
He's
And,
the only one.
And I think what you guys are trying to get at is that this is also a way of exerting positive energy from a person's like self, from a person's being, because once you have a very let's say good or let's say stable relationship with God, you sort of develop this, how can I say this?
Fearlessness, bro.
Yeah, it's very,
I can
thank you
tell
very
you if
much.
there's one thing
There's
I am.
this fearlessness
I-
where you're
I
like, okay,
am-
khalas, like I know that there's someone that has my back on
Thank
this.
you. And really, bro, when I tell you this, like when I tell you I consider myself, man, fearless, honestly.
Yeah.
Nothing scares me, bro. Nothing in this world. But I can't tell you only because, wallah, I believe in God and I started
Yeah.
practicing that I'm fearless. No. I'm fearless because every hole I was thrown in,
Yeah, you can manage.
every
to get
position I
out.
was put in where everyone was against me and I was down and out, he's the one who took me out and taught me how nothing in front of you should
Yeah.
scare you. You know what I mean?
As
And-
long as I'm beside you, nothing should scare you.
I think you complete your religion. I think you reach like an absolute milestone in faith. Let's put religion aside. In faith, because again, bro, you meet Christians as well who have unbelievable faith and have unbelievable
Exactly.
blessed lives, and I don't, man. It's all roots back to you believing in a higher power, and you knowing that there's someone up there watching you. And as long as you know these two pillars, man, there's no way you're gonna do anything out of bad intention. You're gonna watch everything you do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, fearless, being fearless, but also humble. You know, not like walking around
Yeah.
like, oh, what the fuck are you gonna do? Like, no, that's not being fearlessness. If someone came up to me now and said, Omar, tomorrow we're gonna take your business, you're gonna keep nothing, you have nothing to do, there's nothing you can do about it. I will have zero panic, bro.
Why?
Why? I'll tell you why.
Because the one who gave you the business
Because
is still by your
God
side.
reminds you in the Quran, He tells you, do not worry about things that are outside your control,
That's true.
whether it be obstacles, problems, or people. You always have that one person who always talks shit about you or always does bad behind your back. You cannot control. You can't go tell him, bro, stop talking. No, you can't. You can't control it. You have that inner faith that God's going to teach him a lesson, and God will make you witness that day.
And not just that, but it's not your place to
Don't
play,
do. Look, if there's one thing karma hates, is doing her job. That's all.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So that's what I actually believe is let the law of karma play out, because
Everybody hates if they do your
it
if
will
you
be
do
the
their
best.
job.
Everybody
movie,
what, sorry?
no?
Everybody hates if you do their job.
Yeah.
Do your own job.
Yeah, I know. But no. Because look, here's the thing. Let me give you an example. If a man comes to you and does something extremely disrespectful or hurtful for you, for your reputation, damages your reputation.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's say damages your reputation. If you retaliate, okay, you are slimming the chances of you getting justice out of the situation from unseen forces. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And maybe you won't get your revenge tomorrow or the next week or next month or next year,
But you'll get it
but
eventually.
it will be a royal. It's gonna be like a royal justice.
Red carpet to
It will be done
Everything.
to where you'll sit back and have popcorn and go like, "Wow, I couldn't even script it in a better way." Does that make sense? That's what happens when you leave it
Yeah.
to God. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, that's again easier said than done.
But going
easier said than done.
exactly, but talking about like manifestation energy and stuff, it's also worth mentioning and something super important, which is frequencies, right? And the frequencies around us and understanding the concept of frequency. And I know you guys spoken about this before together, but I wanted to elaborate more on this. Is how do you make use of frequency in affecting your well-being?
I do not operate from a frequency-based perspective.
Okay.
I mean, maybe frequency is a term, right? It's an energetic form, right? It's a
Yeah.
frequency. It's energy, right? I feel like when people tell you operate from a higher vibration, not from low vibration, that's what they mean by frequency. It's
Yeah.
where you're operating from. You know what I mean?
And I
So-
think
which
it
is
also
the seven
means
chakras, basically.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
you have to understand that when you look at monks, like a monk,
Yeah.
and how they practice, and it's all roots back to being in a Zen moment where they're like in complete peace and like, because there's no unwanted noise or distraction, right? That's what operating from a high vibration is being immune to outside noise and outside forces and out like in people in
Yeah.
a sense, you know what I mean? So when I say, for example, what frequency, it's really the reaction. That's what frequency
Yeah.
is you come and say, Omar, you cuss me out, okay?
Yeah.
If I look at you and laugh and tell you thank you, bro, you know what I mean? That is, and mission thank you, bro, and I'm like boiling on the inside.
Yeah.
No, thank you, bro, and looking at you and feeling so sorry for your soul and how tortured you are inside,
That's true.
genuinely, and praying for you. Like, I wish you well, brother. I hope you heal. That's what I mean by frequencies. When you're operating from that frequency, my friend, you're unstoppable, bro.
But it's not just that. It's
صح, but
because
frequency, energies, and vibrations are
Again, this terminology here, but
no, they're three different things. That's the thing. So one of them works with your physical form, which is your body, one of them with your mental form, and one with your spiritual form. Each one of them is different. You decide which one you want to walk with, and each one puts you in a different position. So you could, let's say that, have you watched the movie Flash?
Flash.
Flash, yeah.
No. Or maybe I've did, but it's a very old movie.
It's So
Yeah.
at one point he goes through a train or a wall or
Yeah.
a door or something. For him to go through, he needs to move his molecules in a certain way.
Yeah.
It's the same concept over here. Your vibration, if it's the same as the vibration of something else, you can go through. If it's not, you can't go through.
It's so funny that you mentioned this because I was just about to say that, like the body, the human body is made of 70% water. So obviously you can control a lot of it with frequencies and vibration. But there is something called the binaural beats. And I don't know if you're aware of this, but it's a form of illusion. Sorry, I was going to get to this after, but first, before I mention this, to touch on your particular topic, is I wanted to actually get to the book that talks specifically about that, which is called the Rife Handbook of Frequency Therapy and Holistic Health. So basically, Nina Silver is the author, and he bases his book off of a guy called Raymond Rife. And this is a guy or a scientist that developed a special type of microscope or machine that uses specific frequencies to destroy microorganisms. Imagine. So basically, he was able to conclude from all of this that
you're just killing the parasites and whatnot.
or you could even improve your health using frequencies. So not just killing it, but also you could improve.
No, I'm talking about the bad parasites.
Yeah, exactly. And this drives me crazy. Not driving. And this makes me so fascinated because it goes back to what you were saying, which is the manifestation and the things that you keep telling yourself. Because if you keep repeating,
music.
Exactly.
Music is the biggest it's the biggest example of frequency.
And it's the biggest. I feel like mind control too.
Of course, it's manipulation. It's a false manipulative form of frequency. What I mean by is when you listen to a sad song, you end up becoming emotionally sad.
Yeah.
If you listen to something that is more of a, gets you
like more hyped up,
then it manipulates the way you feel, but it's all artificial. You know what I mean?
It's short term.
And what I can guarantee you,
short
people
term.
don't pay attention to that, man. But I when I started paying attention to it, is when I really started finding out it is true. And again, bro, music is one of the things that
it becomes addictive
it's
too,
not
right?
addictive. It's very hard to get rid of, especially if you go to the gym, if you train, you listen to it. But really, I've experienced firsthand many times where I'd be in a good mood, I'd listen to music, and then I'd get this energetic crash right after. You know what I mean? I get like this delayed crash of like where I'm like, why am I feeling this way? You know what I mean? You really don't know how it affects you. Really, no one has
I'm just trying to imagine you in the gym with that music to see how you would survive.
Bro, listen, like in the end of the day, it's something I think we all struggle with. It's not like, music is not even like it's not the best way to how can I say manipulate the way you feel because
Yeah.
it's temporary. But what I also feel like is as frequency, music is the best example.
Yeah, and but it drove me, like, it just was so fascinating that it got to a point where you could actually fix your health, like with
Yeah,
this
even
guy, like
chemotherapy, bro.
yeah,
It's radiation, right?
yeah,
Radiation is a form of frequency, you know.
yeah,
So again, radio channels, you know, like satellites. All of that is frequency related. I mean, it's real. We know it exists, but do we know how it affects us fully and completely? No, we don't. We still
Yeah.
don't. I still don't.
and to your point, I was gonna get to that because I did a little bit of research on this because I know you guys are very much into frequencies and stuff. And this binaural beat, if you've heard of it or if you haven't heard of it, so basically it's a form of auditory illusion. So what they do is they put one frequency in one ear and another frequency in another ear. So what happens is that difference between the frequencies plays tricks on your mind. So it makes it feel like there is a different kind of frequency. So it becomes like the combination between both the one that's like on the right and the one that's on the left. So the brain's electrical activity will synchronize with that binaural beat. Now, the binaural beat, you have 5. The delta waves are associated with deep sleep, healing, and restoration. The theta waves are linked to deep relaxation, meditation, creativity, REM sleep. REM sleep, and the
REM sleep.
sorry,
REM sleep.
yeah, and the alpha waves are related to alertness, light meditation, calm focus. The beta waves, active thinking, problem solving, alertness, and the gamma waves, mental activity and consciousness and problem solving. And guess what? They're actually taking all of this stuff, and I've been reading how they're putting it in music, obviously, and other things, just to sort of, like you said, like
Manipulate.
yeah,
Yeah.
manipulate
Why do
specific.
you think you listen to some music a lot of times and some you just listen to them once, twice, and you don't listen again?
Yeah,
Because some have more effect on you and some don't.
yeah,
And the effect could be external. Like, let's say somebody who's famous likes a song and you start listening to it and you only like it because he's famous and he likes it.
yeah.
That's also a big problem. People don't focus on that. So there's a lot of things that you don't like, so you're torturing yourself because of somebody else. Because you
it
like
all
them.
comes down to one thing and one thing only.
I think I know what
all
he's gonna say.
stems back to throwing you off or off track with your purpose, bro. Everything
Yeah.
that's happening in this world, whether it be movies, whether it be watching shows, whether it be Instagram, whether it be Reels, whether it be TikTok, all are forms of distractions that are sent out to throw you off from following your purpose. And it's working, my friend.
It is working because now I don't know if you've noticed, like even with you with the younger staff at your company, they're not the same. They're not the same build that we had. Like you feel like they're very short attention. They do things a very different way. They don't have like that patience or sort of that grit that are like the older generation
Yeah,
have.
there's the death of the traditional way of doing things, which is why now, with Gen Z becoming evident more and more. Unfortunately, man, you have to build your business around what they're capable of doing, and that's a part of you adjusting as well as understanding that the people who are serving you today are not the same people who are serving you 5 or 10 or 15 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is why now, if you look at a lot of business owners are focusing on personal branding. You know, whereas, for example, Brands for Less, Tawfiq, his name is Tawfiq, right? The founder.
Tawfiq Ridia.
So when I was on Shark Tank, he was one of the judges. And he was one shrewd shark, man. He was one shrewd shark. I don't agree with his perspective.
Yeah.
Not necessarily in terms of...
But by the way, how come we never saw it? It never aired, right?
It's going to air next month. It airs in October. But I I went into Shark Tank. I was, as a company, much bigger than what they would invest in. So
Yeah.
they would
I
look at
remember you
grabbing
did that for
15,
publicity.
20, 25%. When I was going in asking for 5% equity in exchange for 5 million. So to them, I wasn't the ideal business they're looking for to invest.
Did you actually get an offer?
I didn't get an offer, but I created a show, and I can't wait for you guys to watch it.
No way.
I got
But
the
how
Sharks.
how come they didn't give you an
When it's
offer?
out, let us know.
It's
They don't give offers to everyone.
they don't, obviously they wouldn't give offers to everyone, but at the same time, even if I were to get an offer, it wasn't going to be an offer I was going to accept,
Yeah.
because they were going to take anywhere. They were going to give me something like 5 million for 30-40% of my business.
What?
Makes no sense, you know what I mean? So I
Half
went
of your
there,
business for 5 million?
Yeah, no, I went there for the experience, because who can
Yeah.
say I was on Shark Tank? You know what I mean? Second of all, I went there.
Who can say they were on Shark Tank?
Yeah, it's true, bro. Who can say that they were on
Okay,
Shark
bro,
Tank?
that's why I'm laughing.
So it's something that between me and myself kind of, gives me.
I mean, bro, it gives him an ego boost. Why are you
not an
upset?
ego boost. No, it's a
I'm-
milestone. It's a milestone.
I'm happy.
It is a milestone.
I'm happy
It's a milestone
for him. I'm
because
happy
No,
for
bro,
him.
'cause I
I-
remember when he was doing it, and I like the fact that he told.
guys, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, so you can understand before you laugh.
I'm not laughing.
Listen. No, it's okay. You can laugh. I'm not offended by any means, but what I'm trying to say here is, Shark Tank is a reality show, guys. What you see, you guys don't know that they cut the cameras off 4 times doing negotiations with me. Yes, and I had to say things that I couldn't say on camera. So they made me cut the camera, and I had to say a few things. They're like, okay, roll the cameras. It's all scripted, guys. It's all a scripted show.
Wait,
But
who were the judges again?
I'm gonna leave you to watch the episode. It was
Because there's one that I have a huge crush on.
the girl.
Yeah, no.
And you know what she said?
What?
Noor was, when I walked in, I was like, Noor, before you say anything, I'm one of your biggest fans. And she started smiling. She was the first one who clapped for me. And she said, it's incredible what you've achieved. It's incredible what you've built. But if I understood half a thing about cars, I would have invested. That's exactly what she said. She gave me the respect that I earned.
Yeah.
And there's a point where me and her were exchanging in English, and one of the other judges was Amira Sajwani.
Yeah.
Amira Sajwani and Jamal Bilhol. Was
Jamal?
Jamal was Jamal.
Ili Khouri was not there?
No, it was Bilhol. Ili Khouri was there.
Oh.
Ili Khouri sided with Noor. In a sense where I don't know the space, I cannot invest in it.
Okay.
Who took my project seriously was Jamal and Bilhol and Amira Sajwani. They took interest in it. Tawfiq was the first time he was a judge. Tawfiq said there's plenty of marketplaces in Dubai for car rentals. I was like, okay, fine, there's plenty, yeah. No problem. Again, he's in clothing.
This guy clearly doesn't
He's in
understand the
clothing.
business.
He's in clothing. He's in
Yeah.
clothing. So I don't expect
No, but
him.
yani, come on, yani, bro. You cannot say
In the
that
end of the day,
kind of statement.
in the end of the day, you have to understand, as an investor, you need to know what you're investing in, and you need to have experience. Otherwise, what
Yeah.
value are you adding? I don't need your money. I need your value. So the 2 people who kind of pulled chains with me was Amira and Jamal, both of which off camera told me, please revisit us once it's on the ground. And you'll see in the episode. It was so... And here's what you guys don't understand. You have one shot, and one shot only. If you get nervous, you're still on live camera. If you start stuttering, you're still on live camera. There is no sorry, cut, repeat.
Yeah.
One shot, one go,
Bro, this is one shot
take.
as well.
No, brother, there's no
We're good.
editing.
We're good here, bro.
What I'm trying to tell you
Exactly.
is, what I walked in to Shark Tank, knowing you're streamed on live TV, I was so proud of myself in the way I presented it,
Exactly.
and how confident I was in front of 5 billionaires, multi-millionaires.
Oh, very
And
well established
How I
people.
created a show, because Noor was talking to me in English, and I was replying her in English, and then Amira jumped and said, excuse me guys, you have to speak in Arabic. And then Noor said, excuse me Amira, I'm the one who spoke to him in English. So that was heated up, there was drama, there was like, it's an episode that's going to be nice to watch.
Let us
killed
know
it.
when it's out.
I presented very well.
But we all knew you going in, you don't need it.
You know what I mean? Exactly.
Yeah,
but
but
for
at
example,
least now they
no
know
one
who-
knows that 3 days ago, I got a call from, I'm not going to mention which production team, but I've been hand selected to be on the 2nd season of Love is Blind for Dubai, or at least a rehearsal.
Allah.
So
الله صار هلا اخر
listen. Yeah, bro. Yeah.
What
Yeah,
is
bro.
Love is Blind?
Love is
So
First-
Blind.
you meet someone
Accept to
behind like a wall, you know what I mean? And you can it's like a matchmaking.
يعني
And
basically
it's a Netflix show, my friend.
كمان.
So it's a Netflix
Wait,
show.
wait.
So listen.
يا اخي خلي
Listen.
نكمل القصه
What I'm trying to tell you is,
بده
we
يجوزوا لعموره.
saw you on, you saw your profile with that production team who was doing Shark Tank.
With who?
With the production team.
Oh, okay.
Now again, what ended up happening is the fact that I was on Shark Tank, and because it hasn't aired, I can't make this season because there's conflict of interest between the production teams.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you an example of an opportunity that landed because of it, and it hasn't even aired yet.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
When it airs, it would be a different story.
Exactly. So to me, it's
Different ball game.
Okay, can
and
I,
Shark Tank will be on Netflix. Shark Tank as a show, Dubai will be on Netflix, just like how there's Shark Tank.
Wait, Shark Tank is gonna be on Netflix? I thought it was a Dubai TV show.
It's a Dubai TV show, but eventually down
Oh,
the
okay.
years, when there's like 7 seasons, it will be on Netflix, just like every other show you see on Netflix. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, how do we get into all of this?
I don't know.
What
but
was the initial discussion?
I was talking about.
Opportunities and that's
Wait.
what you were mentioning.
Yeah, but prior to that, no.
I have. Can we stop for a second and go back to the fact that he's gonna be talking to women behind the wall? يعني.
لا أنا
This
صراحة
is
هذا
this is
موضوع
full on
ضحكني.
halal, you know.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
trying to make it as
هو-
halal
هو
as
عن جد full
possible.
on halal.
Are you gonna marry anyone?
No, let me tell you something.
Are you gonna marry
I
her?
can't be on the show, subhanAllah.
Why?
Because there's a conflict of interest.
With who?
Shark Tank season 2 hasn't aired.
Okay.
And for me to be a part of the show, it has to be aired for at least 3 months. So
damn.
subhanallah, you know, like, and again, when she
But
told me
it's-
that, and by the way, I show you the chat. Look, I show you the chat, bro. I'm not even joking.
Yeah, I mean, I know.
Look,
it's
look,
fine,
look,
like,
look.
I believe you.
Look,
Who's this?
Yara, she's the one of the production team.
Okay.
I sent her the video. She's like, yes, perfect. I sent her everything, bro. And then look what she said in the end. She was like,
عمر how are you؟ عمر الصراحة ما رح تزبط لأنك كنت بشارك تانك، أنا ما كنت عارفة هيدا الشيء، ما فينا إذا حدا كان اوريدي ببرنامج وبعد ما نزل عرفت شو قصدي؟
yes. So I wasn't even like entertaining it, but it was just
The idea.
how they reached out
Yeah.
to me. It just gave me a little tilly sign, you know what I mean? So here's what I mean, and I knew, and I told you, I was like, and I told my sisters, I was like, I know I'm not gonna get investment because I watched all season 1 and I saw how the sharks behave, and out of like what 40 companies, they invested in 5 or 6. You know what I mean?
Wait, from 4 they invested in 5?
Yeah, man. Look, Shark Tank. It's not like it's new.
Wow.
It's still season 2. When you look at Shark Tank USA, they have like 14, 15, 16 seasons. So they're still very new. And go back to Tawfiq.
Is
That's
that
for
what
less.
we're talking about, Tawfiq? Is
Yes,
that how
yes.
we're-
Do you know that when he started investing in personal branding, and he exploded on TikTok, how much his business exploded with it?
Yeah.
And do you guys know that because of that, he now sold 30% of his business for $370 million?
Yeah.
So I'm telling you,
That was
is
yesterday, right?
like a week ago or something like that. Yeah, but
Yesterday it was on the news.
Yeah, I mean, I know the guy that made him blow up on TikTok, so I know all of the details and stories.
so yeah. Long story short is we're in changing
Long
times.
story short, we're gonna see you eventually on Love is Blind.
Nah, bro. Like honestly,
I'm imagining.
Yeah, I can't
wait,
imagine.
wait, Muhammad. Let's act this out, okay?
I'd be a fucking great out to the show. I'll tell
Yeah,
you,
I
man.
think you
I'd
would
be.
be.
A
I
No,
great-
think-
we're
I
not
think
saying that.
I would be trolling everyone on the
Listen,
show.
I would
I would
enjoy
be the
it.
main character, bro.
I would
You are
enjoy
the
it
character.
a lot if you when and if you're on the show. I
Yeah.
know I will enjoy it.
Yeah.
Now let me tell you something else. I'm trying to imagine what happens in that scenario. She has beautiful legs. Astaghfirullah.
No,
How is this
you can't even see her, bro. You don't even see her.
Okay,
There's
what's
a
the
wall
point?
between you guys. You have to, based on language. Now, bro, here's what she told me. She told me that everyone that's going to be on the show is up to a certain standard, so don't worry. So, like, she's trying to tell me that no one's going to be disappointing, you know? So, on both areas. So, You just, based on verbal communication and energetic fields, you get to choose if this is a match or not. Both of you get to choose. So you both choose each other without seeing each other.
Okay, can I?
And then if you see each other and shit goes south,
Because arranged marriage was too bad.
no, you get an out. You can say, guys, I don't want to continue, and
Yeah.
it's fine. You just leave the show. But I would be the guy that would stay in the show and let's roll with it and see where
Yeah.
it goes and give it a chance. And then, you know what, but like it's a show, you know, it's entertainment.
Whatever
but,
happens, happens.
But yeah, like moral of the story here is it's funny because, man, I remember the first time I presented in front of people was in freshman year, university. And I could barely stand up because how my legs were shaking. And it was a 3-minute presentation in front of 40 people. So going from that to Shark Tank live TV in front of 5 sharks, 1 shot, 1 goal, no mistake, you really understand how far you came, man. And
Yeah.
again,
Very
what's
happy.
you know what's the difference between
Very-
Omar this and Omar that?
What?
Is how much I value myself as a man and where I see my self-worth as. Because I walked into
Yeah.
Shark Tank, bro. I'm like, motherfuckers, I'm the shark. Y'all are just fucking Nemos sitting in front of me, you know what I mean? Like, I'm the shark walking in, and they're all like Nemos chilling, you know? I swear, bro. I'm not joking.
God.
That's how I walked in, and I roll with it, and you will see on the show not a single
That's so
ounce
funny.
of nervousness. I had someone before me who presented who was like hysterically crying because she couldn't finish her presentation. It's nerve-wracking, bro.
I know.
And not only that, like, lady comes up to you, puts makeup, and then the other guy comes, check 1 2 1 2 radio, check his mic. It's so much going on at the same time.
Wait, did they put
To where
makeup
my
on you?
CFO,
Yeah.
CFO, it's funny, and I'm thinking he'll watch this, but my CFO, Greg, sat backstage, in case they had questions for him, and he was dreading the moment they called him on stage. Luckily they didn't, and he's like, bro, I was sitting backstage, and I was nerve-wracked. I don't know how you managed to do it. You know what I mean? So, again, there's so much, when we go through such experiences, there's so much that you learn. Like, if you ask me, like, people will look at Shark Tank, man, yeah, I want to go invest in my business. Little do they know that you come out of that experience learning more about yourself than the actual business and what you're trying to do.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
that's true. But I mean, it's. I don't know. Like everything happens for a reason, and something is gonna come out of it for sure.
100%.
Yeah, you cannot. You
And-
don't know how and
and-
what and.
And at the
so
same
on.
time, again, like I said in the beginning of the podcast, nothing happens by coincidence. Everything happens for a reason, and the reason will become evident when the time comes for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's it.
I don't believe in coincidence.
Yeah, me too. There's
I
no
don't-
such thing.
There's no such thing. Because if
wanted-
you believe in that, for me at least, if I believe in that, that means I don't believe in God's plans.
Yeah,
And
no.
Yeah.
everything is planned. We already know that, and it's all written.
But you could. I actually wanted to touch on something in Napoleon Hill's book because he talks a lot about the things that we were talking about, which is manifestation, autosuggestion, positive mindset, etc. Into using that and really making it a reality in your life. But I wanted to ask you separately, both of you guys, to give me a rating out of 10 of how important his 13 principles are. 13 principles, they're just words. I'm just going to mention them to you. But he says that if you want to get from this point to that point, you need to apply
How
those
important,
13.
yeah. Okay.
Those 13 principles, and then you're going to get there. So first he says that I'll start with Omar, just because he's beside me. He said that you need
Racism,
to
bro.
have...
Just because I'm brown.
He says that you need to have a burning freaking desire.
100%, 10 out of 10.
So 10 out
10
of 10.
out of 10.
Then is it faith?
12 out of 10.
Okay.
His math is not good, as we realize.
Yeah. The concept of auto-suggestion. So basically, what he means by auto-suggestion is developing an auto response to subconscious thoughts.
7 out of 10.
Okay. Having specialized knowledge.
4 out of 10.
Okay.
Zero.
Oh, interesting. Wow.
0.
Yeah.
Wow.
You do have to have some form of knowledge.
No, you don't.
No, you have to know, bro. Like for example, I can't start a tech business not knowing shit about.
So, bro,
tech.
you have your turn. You're gonna
Go
give
on.
this course.
Please, yeah, please.
Okay,
Stay where you're at. Bro.
okay. Sorry. Sorry, Your Highness.
Imagination.
Oh, 12 out of 10.
Oh wow.
Yeah, man.
12.
You have to be, man. If you only knew what's inside my head, or what goes on in my head, and the life I have in my
Yeah.
head that I'm living already in my head, and how badly I want to make that a reality, then
Yeah, I get it.
why would I be going through all the struggles? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's true. It's a
But
driving
I have
force.
fantasies on, man, wild fantasies,
Yeah.
bro, of like delusional shit. But let's just go with it. Yeah.
Organized planning.
5 out of 10, because you can never ever plan. It's
Yeah.
like it'll never go as planned.
Mm.
5 out of 10 because you need to have a plan. But then the other 5 I'm compromising because it's never gonna go as planned, and you have to be flexible with steering the ship as it goes.
Yeah.
That's it.
And you actually mentioned that in one of your podcasts. You're like, listen,
You-
stop planning and just start doing shit.
And I said
صح? I remember.
yes, but more accurately, I said the minute you let go of controlling outcomes
Yeah.
is the closer you get to your goal. You
Yeah,
cannot control
you
outcomes.
mentioned it in that way. Decision making.
Oh, 10 out of 10, bro. In the end of the day, all the decisions that I've made that got me to this point were decisions that I had to take. Someone has to take them.
Yeah.
It's not going to be my partners who are going to be taking them.
And you have you need
Taking
to have
decisions-
a good ability to make proper.
No. It's not about making decisions. It's making decisions and being ready to be accountable
Yeah.
for the
decision that you make.
outcomes.
Yeah.
Is I may make a decision now that may go south, but when it goes south, I'm not gonna go say, oh, it's because of him and it's because of that and it's because of this. And
Yeah.
like, no, bro, this was my judgment back then, and this is where it landed me. Simple. Accountability is very
Yeah.
important.
Persistence.
Oh, 10 out of 10.
Mastermind, which is basically what he means by mastermind. It's
Mastermind is what we did earlier with the lions. That's a
yeah,
mastermind.
it's basically like taking the knowledge, converting it
10.
into a plan.
10 out of 10, yes.
Sex transmutation. What he means by that is because he believes in his book that sex, love, and faith are the 3 most powerful form of energies
Correct.
that ever
Correct.
existed from a human being, and that if you can master and your
Control.
discipline and control your sexual urges
Desires,
and your desires, and convert that energy into transmutation into other types of energy, that you can like
10 out of 10.
yeah
100%. 100%.
Oh,
no.
you agree with that
Which is
too?
why most successful people who make it are usually alone in the process when they do, because
Or a very supportive woman.
or very married, very supportive. Yeah, but I mean, like,
Yeah.
you are
Which is,
at your
yeah.
prime. You are at your prime when you have no one around you, just locked in, and you're in your lone wolf period. You know what I mean? When you're in isolation, and this is something I was telling Yaqoub on the way here as well.
Mm.
And he is like, how do you, is like, in your opinion, how do you think you become more aware, your awareness, spiritual awareness comes to life? And the only way I believe it comes to life and you start mastering it is through isolation. You need to be alone with your thoughts, and when you're alone with your thoughts, you learn so much about yourself.
But I think when you say alone, it's not to the extent that people might
No.
misunderstand. I
And again,
think you
it's-
like to
it's-
have very
here's the thing.
select, very hand.
No.
No. It's
people.
you
completely
will-
alone.
completely alone, completely in isolation. But so people don't get it the wrong way, it's again a season. It's a period.
Yeah.
It can be 6 months, a year and a half,
Until
2
you
years. And what I like to call the molding phase. It's you're going through a molding phase. You're being prepared. You're being cooked. You're in the oven
Yeah.
so that you are ready to be the man that's ready to take on what's prepared for you next.
Yeah.
And this also goes into every single prophet went through this phase.
Yes.
Yeah.
Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he was in a cave for a very long time. He used to go
Yeah.
every single day and then come down again.
And
Every
that's
single day.
if you read the scriptures, that's when he mentions that most of the, let's say, the epiphanies or the revelations or any good ideas that he had when he
When
was there.
alone,
Yeah.
But there's a reason, man. There's a reason why.
By the way,
Like,
even me,
the
like
problem
also-
with people, man. The problem with people is they can't stand isolation. That's the problem
They're,
with today's
they're
world.
scared. They're actually
They're
scared of it because they're
codependent.
scared
very
of their own
codependent,
mind.
you know, and that's why, for us men today, man, and I think this will trigger a lot of women out there, but
I mean, we're
But I
gonna
feel like
talk about feminism in the next podcast
but
because
the-
there's not enough time to fit
the
everything into.
why us men struggle to find good women today is because women spare no time healing, brother. They spare no time spending time with themselves, healing themselves. They jump from something that failed to something that will fail. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
Why
yeah.
will fail? Because there's luggage that's being carried around.
Exactly.
So I feel like, and same goes with men. I'm not being, I'm not focusing on women.
yeah.
Same goes with men, but the difference between men and women is, I feel like us as men, we are less emotional. We don't operate in a 100% emotional standpoint, whereas women do.
Yeah.
And what women don't realize is the emotional projection that they put on men can destroy a man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's-
You've seen women destroy men more than you've seen men destroy women.
That's
you know
very
what I
true.
mean? Because women can really rob a man of everything he has internally before
Yeah.
it is external.
And if it happens internally, 100% it's going to happen externally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a disease, bro. It's a parasite.
Type your subconscious mind,
10 out of 10.
your brain activity, like how you train it to think every day.
100%, 10 out of 10.
And finally, last but not least, sixth sense, like your ability.
Oh, 10 out of 10.
Gut
see it.
feeling, yeah.
Sixth sense is the gift you get in the process. It's a
Yeah,
gift.
he actually says that this is the result of
It's a gift.
excelling all of the
Yes,
above.
I was telling you about the sixth sense. I have a sixth sense. Well, obviously, when you have that sixth sense, you keep it.
dead people.
You keep it to yourself.
Remember?
Not to that extent. I wouldn't want to see dead people. That's for sure. But it's when you become aware of your surroundings.
Yeah.
Man. You become very aware of your surroundings, and you start seeing things before they happen.
That's
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you could meet someone.
Is that the highest form?
Like you could meet someone.
He says that in
Sorry,
his
Omar.
book.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
You interrupted me fucking
sorry.
20 times, bro. So
I love you. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
You meet someone.
You guys encounter this where you meet someone, and then you immediately say, "Nah, I'm not gonna like."
I don't
It's
feel
probably gonna be
comfortable.
the last time I see this person.
Yeah,
But then for a second, you were like, you kind of like picture the entire friend. If you were to be his friend, you kind of see the whole friendship and where it goes.
yeah.
You go like, nope, I'm
Drop
not gonna
it.
let that happen next. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I mean by sixth sense. Is you start seeing things
Before
that, that before they happen and what could happen if you were to open a door.
Not
Yeah.
what could, what will happen.
What will? Or what? No one knows exactly what will, but what could, as a possibility of a scenario.
But to answer your question, that basically this sixth sense, in his book, the way that he defines it, that it gives you access to infinite intelligence
Yes.
effortlessly after applying all of the above
100%.
12
100%.
things that you spoke about. I always say, wallahi, this book is really incredible. And the fact that him, who is one of the pickiest people, not pickiest, sorry, one of the most detailed people that I know, to give most of them more than 10 or 10 out of 10 says a lot. I mean, this book, but I wanna get
My
your
answers
scores,
would be pretty much the same except one.
which is
I think the third or the fourth one you mentioned. I don't remember.
our specialized knowledge.
Yeah, you don't need to be specialized in anything, bro.
I actually disagree with you. You have to be specialized in something, man.
Look,
You can't
he's right because you do see, for example, The easiest example is McDonald's, the franchise. How it started, how the guy who actually robbed the whole business and took it from its owners was selling ice cream makers. You know what I mean? So he was walking around trying to sell them an
Yeah.
ice cream maker. Eventually but he adopted he knew nothing about burgers, bro. He knew nothing about flipping
That's what I'm
burgers or
saying.
recipes.
You don't
Yeah,
need
what
any
was
of
his
that.
name? Ray McCrock?
But yet again, he did have knowledge about business and
Yeah.
currency and
You
money
don't.
and
You
finance.
don't need to. That's what I'm saying. You don't need to have knowledge about what you're working with.
Indirect
you,
knowledge.
You
yeah.
need to have knowledge about money. How does
Yeah.
money work? Because that's what you want out of it.
Correct.
You don't want to be the best burger maker so you can cook it. You want to have the best burger so you can make the most money. He
True.
was looking at it from a business perspective.
Well, let me tell you something. You're right, 100%. But why I said 5 is because me being the CEO and founder of a tech company, let me tell you, 2 out of 10 founders or CEOs of a company know or are also CTOs of the company. Meaning
Yeah.
they know the tech, they have a tech degree. So with my industrial engineer degree specializing in software engineering, that positioned me especially in front of investors to even RTA, to where now this guy is not only running the business, but he knows he's the one who built it in terms of a tech perspective. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because most CEOs hire third parties, companies, other people
Yeah.
to develop, but what you don't, the difference between this person and that person is the opportunities that are presented to them. Because if you if you put a founder in front of an investor who wants to invest X million dollars into a business, and he understands that the tech, the intellectual property, the source code of the business is handled and built by a third party versus the actual individual sitting in front of
Yeah.
you, that diminishes the chances by 50%. That's what I mean. It's just having the knowledge gives you more opportunities in certain situations and circumstances.
Amazing. This wraps it up. 2 hours.
Yeah.
What was the time?
Time
2
flies
hours.
when
It's
you're
a good
with the right
conversation.
people.
Thank you guys.
Sure.
Love you. It was amazing. I loved it. Very good conversation.
Shout out to the brother Abbas, Dastan Barbers, the best in Dubai. Thank you for this. And Abbas, I'll be seeing you soon.